day, my phone realized that every day, this period of time, I go to that particular school. So when I stop driving to his school, I get up in the car and I see, it says that, okay, this school is gonna take this long. How this phone knows that I'm going to go there? Because it actually noticed my pattern that this particular time I'm going to this particular place. So that's how the artificial intelligence works. But we are not artificial intelligence. We are really intelligent people, but we are working as that because we look at the pattern. It worked, it didn't work, and so many people tried. That is the backlog we always have. So in order to come out from this kind of things, you have to challenge your own thoughts. So far, convergent thinking is based on fact, logic, truth probably. But please use these instead of it is using you. So we are going to talk about another limitation of our brain. It's called deletion. There was a guy I was coaching, he's a real estate agent. That time my office was in my home. So he came to me and first thing he was his name is Attila, he's a German background. He was very frustrated. He was saying, Ali, nothing is working. I'm trying my best and everything was good at the beginning, but now I don't see any other way that I can grow. I said, okay. I said, Attila, when you came to my home, on the way, after you started from Kennedy to my home, have you seen any house on sale? He said, there are 3 houses are on sale. I said, 3? He said, yeah. I said, you drove only one time on this road, and you know there are 3 houses on sale, and I drive every day. I did not know there are houses on sale. How come your brain sees this and my brain does not see it? So every single second, we have been receiving hundreds of information through our 5 senses. Now our brain cannot deal with this lot of information at a single time. So what Creator has done, He put a device inside the head. It's called RAS, Reticular Activating System. It's filtering the information, only helping me to pay attention to the things are important to me. That's why Attila's brain was enlightened when he saw a board written house on sale. My brain did not do that. So there's so many information. If you want to have outstanding growth, you cannot have the same strategy, right? You have to have a different kind of strategy. How are you going to get that strategy? Of course, if you keep on attending all these courses, all the seminars they have been doing it helps massively. But if you want to go beyond that, if you want to do something outstanding where you are standing out from the crowd, your strategy has to be outstanding too. How are you going to figure it out? I cannot give you the answer, but you have the answer. Only thing, you have to change your question. You have to ask a different question. If Attila is keep on saying that nothing is working, I don't know why it's happening to me. Why at the beginning it was working and it stopped working right now? There's so many problems nowadays, the interest rate is high and blah, blah, blah. If you keep on saying this, your brain will receive this information and store it, and it's going to start dominating you. It's keep on giving you all the frustration kind of thoughts, all the frustration information in front of you. But if you change the question, okay, I know this is the challenge, but still, is there anything I can do different? Is there any way I can turn around this situation? Is there any information that's going to help me to change the present situation? If you change your question, your brain will start to work differently. Because whenever human being asking a question, the brain's first job is to figure out the answer. Until you find out the answer, it keeps on working. It cannot stop. But whenever we are asking these empowering questions, who's going to drain me? Brain is going to supply all those evidence in front of me. Without challenge, nobody can succeed. Without challenge, there is no life. Only time you will stop having challenge when you are dead. So let's try to embrace the challenge. I changed the name first. I didn't say crisis, problem, stress. I said challenge. Of course, challenge is the thing which is creating all this crisis and all this kind of emotions. But if I change the name, okay, it is not crisis, it's a challenge. I don't know how to get out of this, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. What do you have to do first? You have to ask different questions. When you change the question, your brain will start to notice all those information which is required. You say, oh, it was in front of me. How come I didn't see it before? Because your brain, RAS, was deleting all this information because the way you program your brain was completely different. It's the same brain. Now I started to serving you. That's why I said, if you're too much in your head, you'll be dead, because brain has designed the way it is normally is designed to make you survive, not to thrive. It's the human spirit who has made the decision, I'm going to go beyond. When a human spirit made that decision that I'm going to go beyond, I'm going to break this pattern, I don't want to live like this way anymore, then your brain will start to serve you, because brain is our slave. But we become the slave of our brain. That's the problem. That's why we are lack of talented. It is not the lack which God has given to us, it is the lack what we have created by continuous bombarding with this limiting and fact-based thought. So, there's a different kind of thought, is divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is not like you're ignoring the fact completely, but you're being more creative. Whenever your brain receives any question, it's trying first inside of your brain to figure out the answer. If it doesn't find the answer in your head, then it's going to try to see outside. But your RAS is stopping those information. Right? Now you change that too. You started to ask different questions, but somehow you couldn't find the answer outside the world too. Now where are you going to get the answer? Your brain has been designed by the Almighty Creator, completely different way. There is a two different sides of the brains. One is called the right brain hemisphere, other one is the left brain hemisphere. The left part of the brain is for logic. The right side of the brain is for creativity. So if the answer does not exist inside of your head or even outside, your brain can produce the answer. So, oh my God, that's too much. No. You see how the light bulb was made. There was no information within his head, Thomas Alva Edison's. And then there's no information outside too. No information outside, no information inside, but it created the information. And now, that's why we have the light bulb. So, we are the same human being. When we were young, at the age of 9-ish, we stopped being creative anymore. Because society has taught us you have to be more practical. When we were playing with toys and like just making noise, I have an aeroplane, ooh, my dad said, hey, come on, how long you have been playing with this? Grow up now. So we stopped doing this. We started to be more practical. So from that moment, we started to, and when you go to school, it's all left brain. All left brain. So when we have too much information on the left side and the right side is not getting enough feeding, we become too logical. That's why our brain cannot produce that kind of information anymore. So how are you going to change it now? Ask the question. Change your question, you see the difference. So divergent thinking is actually you are using the facts, logics, but also using the creativity with all together. Whenever you mix these two, then your strategy will be unique and outstanding. There's a chance. But maybe at the beginning, you'll not get that kind of a smart answer. But you have to keep on training yourself. There's a story, you can search Google and you'll see 333 stories. This story It's about Bay Area. That's a long time ago. I think about 20 years ago or 15, 20 years ago. There was a big cyclone. And when it happened, there was a big disaster happen. And there was a radio, a guy who is the radio channel owner. He heard this news that, okay, the cyclone happened last night. So he was passing by and he went there and spent some time and figured out how much money it's going to cost to rebuild the whole place. And he found out that it's at least $3 million is going to cost. The damage around $3 million. And he heard from the news too, is $3 million damage happened in one night. So that time $3 million is a lot of money too. So he came to the radio station and he called everyone. And he said, hey, on the way I saw this cyclone area and the $3 million damage is there. And I want to raise $3 million from charity, from people, through our radio channel. Everyone in the room said, $3 million? Say, yeah, we're gonna do it in 3 days. How is it even possible? He said, I don't know, let's figure it out. He said, listen, we are a small channel. We only cover this area, not even full Toronto, just only small area. How are we going to raise this much money? The amount of people lives in this area, if they pay every single person pay $1,000, it still is not going to be $3 million. So it's impossible. He said, okay, I know this too. But somehow I convinced myself I want to raise this money in 3 days, $3 million. And then he said, okay, in this board, I know you can give your opinion, how can we do this? So there'll be a whiteboard. This side is going to be positive. If anybody's saying that this is how we can do it, I'm going to write here. On the other side, I have a space. If you are going to share that why we cannot do it, I'm going to listen to you, but I'm not going to write anything. I'm going to say next. So people started to talk, and most of the time it's saying, this is not the reason, this is the reason we can't do it, we have limitation, we have that, all the problem. And he keep on saying next. After a few minutes, everybody noticed, what's the point of sharing when he's going to say next and he's not going to write? So they change different question now. They change the question and are asking, is there any way we can do it? And then that meeting lasted an hour. But they came up with 20 different new solutions, how they can do it. And what they did, they welcomed and invited all the radio channels nationwide. And they said, we're going to do this same time, 3-hour show, and we're going to raise $3 million. And it's going to start within the next 3 days. Let's join everybody together. And again, negative people said, why they will join? They want their credit. I said, we don't want to take the credit. Everyone will take their own credit. But we'll run one show, but it will be a nationwide show. And they did it, and they raised $3 million in 3 days, in 3-hour show. Let's clap for these people. So we have the power. Is the question we have been asking all the time is always just putting us in the jail. If you want to come out from this jail, first thing first, divergent thinking is coming from different kind of question. Ask the question, you see different kind of word. So this guy, Chan Kim, he wrote a book, it's called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's a very famous book, probably a lot of people read it. It's about the marketing strategies and business strategies. He was talking about a concept called, the reason he said Blue Ocean Strategy is all the competition, like you're not the only financial corporation in this country. There's so many other people there too. And also, whenever you're going to a community and you started to talk about this business, you'll probably hear that, oh, I know about this. My friend was talking about it 1 year ago and I didn't do it. These are all challenges, right? So how are you going to break this kind of problem? You need different strategies for sure. So this is called Blue Ocean Strategy, which is making the competition irrelevant. You don't need to fight with Red Ocean. The Red Ocean is bloody competitive. Everybody's following that strategy. Every single person, or 90% people are following that kind of strategy. Only few people, 10% people, those who are having different kind of strategy. Same product, same speech, but somehow they understand the person in front of them. Somehow, it's not about just that, oh, I need to make the business so that I can be promoted. It's about how can I help this person? What kind of help he or she seriously needs? They're asking different questions and they're coming out from that zone and they started to find a different kind of strategies. Those strategies are not red ocean strategies. So I'm giving you one example. You heard about this Cirque du Soleil is one of the circus group, and they're very old and very renowned too, very expensive as well. But there was a time in 80s, there were so many circus groups. It was highly competitive, extremely competitive. That's why they're not making enough money. Secondly, when animal rights, because circus to be mostly animals, tiger, elephant, dog and all these. So when the animal right becomes so strict, it becomes so expensive for them to maintain. So the ticket price has gone up. Now, that's why most of the circus companies now disappeared. Only few companies left, right? So that's the challenge they face. But Cirque du Soleil, they're thinking, okay, well, this is the situation, this is the competition we have, but how can we make the competition irrelevant and also try from here? They did the research for a few years and they come up with an idea. So we can get rid of all the animal, or 90% of the animal, and we can add acrobatic movement, magic, song, and Broadway kind of concept and story in the theater. And they did it, and it succeeded so much, it became multi-million-dollar business right now. To buy a ticket from Cirque du Soleil is like extremely expensive. So this is how asking different questions, divergent thinking can change our present situation. Of course, after the strategies, you need some actions. So I'm going to watch this video.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So yeah, we call them crazy because they don't fit in our society. But these are the people changing the world. It's not that body is changing the world. In the animal kingdom, we are not the most strongest, fastest, biggest, right? But how come we are using cell phone, talking to back home, fraction of a second is going over there free of cost, where the monkeys, those who are claimed to be the closest one, cannot fry an egg yet. They're still doing the same thing. They haven't changed. It's not the body is capable of doing something different. It's the brain, the intellectual property the Creator has been given. But this intellectuality always been corrupted by our society because it's asking you to be normal. It's asking you to follow other people. And it's continuously asking you to be practical. There are some people, those who are pessimists, those who are always doing the math before taking actions. Okay, of course you need it. But they take too much time and spending so much energy to find out whether it's safe or not. That's why they're so afraid and they remain safe and they don't try anything new. Say one day they are safely dead. But the other hand, there are some pessimist people, they have been continuously trying different things. And if it's not something, if something is not working, they'll keep on going until they win. These are the people who fail so many times, more than anybody. But these are the people ruling the world. We have the choice. We have the power. It's our own decision. What are we going to do with this brain? So one of the very small practice we're going to do to enhance our visualization, because as I said, Einstein said that logic will take you from A to B, but your imagination can encircle the world. It doesn't have any limit. And every single thing you see around your car, house, and every single thing you're watching now, it first created someone's head, and then you see in the world. So if we do not channel those things, if we do not enhance the right side of the brain, the creative side of the brain, we will not be able to produce that too. So one of the very profound and very easy technique is visualization. We're going to go with a small exercise. I have 12 minutes, I got to finish before. So just participate.